All right, my beautiful people. Today I'm going to teach you an awareness hack which is going to completely transform your whole conception of reality, skyrocket your consciousness and awareness, and allow you to really live from a higher paradigm whereby you're not locked into this egotistical ceiling of reality. Let's go. I call it content versus context. Content is literally just the linear stories which you're constantly being fed. This on the news, this celebrity bought this watch, this car, blah, 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 blah. And the same applies for your life. When you focus on the content, you're focusing on the things that happen, like the small inconveniences, the stories, which to an extent I understand. We haven't yet been taught to have non-focalized consciousness and awareness where we're constantly focused on the small inconveniences which keep you miserable, right? Because for the most part, that which is going on around you, you're constantly being fed fear. Look at the news, fear. Look at social media, fear, this, that, and the third. So when you focus on the context, you're focused on the all-encompassing, non-linear, intangible field of energy which allows you to even experience life, which is consciousness, right? Consciousness is that which gives awareness life. If you were not aware of what was going on, you wouldn't have life itself. So hence, when you're out and about, as opposed to just being stuck in thinkingness and mentation, which I understand is difficult. This took me years and years, not only to understand, but also to apply, because you have to understand it intellectually first, and then you have to start applying certain principles and certain habits which skyrocket your energy and allow you to transcend thinkingness and mentation. I was stuck in my head for so many years, guys. You have no idea. You have no idea the kind of battles mentally I had to go through. It's wild. This is the reason I can give you such context. This is the reason I can give you such experiences and such stories, because I lived through the whole thing. And the beautiful thing about it is I see myself as a student of life. I don't know it all. I really don't know it all. I'm just giving you that which I do know, and I'm sure it can help you. Guys, with that being said, content versus context, right? Content in its most basic form, like I mentioned, is just that linear story, just the small things that happen whereby you're allowing things that, you don't necessarily have to even focus on to dysregulate your energy. Because if you think negatively, like I mentioned in my previous videos, you will start to have a biological and physiological effect on your body. That's how it works. It's neurochemistry. Your neurochemistry starts to change when you think negatively. And hence, if you're constantly watching the news, like some people have an addiction to the news. I find it wild. Like they're addicted to negativity. Like they're negative. You're being inundated negatively with the news. You're gossiping at work. On social media, your algorithm is probably programmed for like this crazy rubbish, or it's sports or people like violence or drill stuff, hood stuff. Guys, your mind is a supercomputer. Like you need to understand that this is a biomechanical vessel of divinity. But just because it's a biomechanical vessel of divinity, that doesn't mean that it can't be programmed. Like consciousness can be programmed in any which way, form, and fashion. It's up to you to focus on the context. The context meaning the non-linear, intangible substance, which even allows you to think, create, conceive of, right? To perceive of. Focus on the context. And when you focus on the context, it's kind of like it's your freedom. It's like that's how you detach. That's how you disassemble the ego. That's how you realize that, there's way more to life than just being focused on the small inconveniences which I'm getting mad over. Like the small petty arguments or things that happen at home or things that happen at work or my goals or my aspirations. By all means, be a person of character. By all means, be a person of heart who aspires to be something and someone, right? I know the identity isn't real. So you got to remember, when I talk high level consciousness, right, we're going to be going back and forth. And sometimes you might not understand, but trust me, I'm going to take you for a ride with it. You're going to understand me. When it comes to context, right, all you have to do is understand that you don't have to constantly just be focused on that which is annoying you. Like, it's just that mentation. And have you ever realized that you are the happiest when you're not thinking, when you're just in a state of flow? You're just at ease, right? There's no thoughts. Everything is silent. You are one with everything. You realize that you are more powerful than, just them stupid linear stories in your head. It's you who entertains the stories. It's you who's in charge of your awareness. It's you who gives energy to that which you don't like. Because you have to remember, guys, the power of awareness is crazy. The power of awareness is such that you attract that which you like and that which you do not like. Because if you focus on that which you do not like, you are still feeding it energy. And hence you are attracting it, because thoughts are magnetic. And if thoughts are magnetic, you understand that thoughts are a vibrational frequency. And since everything is vibrational frequency, that which you think you are going to attract, plain and simple. Guys, the power is really yours. When I say the power is yours, the power really is yours. In today's day and age, it isn't about acquiring more. It's about disassembling, right? Disassembling the ego, disassembly of your certain belief systems, which keep you locked, because everything is a ceiling right now. As you lot can clearly see, everything is very surface level. We haven't ever been taught anything, of value. And hence, when you focus on the context, you're looking at the bigger picture. You're looking at everything as opposed to focusing on that small linear story. This happened, or this inconvenience, or this argument. Guys, listen. The power really, really is yours. Take a step back. Like I mentioned in all my videos, you hear me take a step back. Take a step back. Disassembly of the ego, right? That's your power. That's your freedom. Listen, I lived it for so many different years. Let me give you some context, right? And this is funny because I already went to mention this before. Guys, when I used to train in the gym, I still train, but listen. When I used to go super duper crazy in the gym, I used to take it so seriously. I'm eating like 5,000 calories per day, 3,000, 5,000 calories per day, taking it super duper seriously. Like my whole sense of self was rooted in the physical world, right? In the game of content. You know, how people perceive me, how this day went, this girl did this, or, you know, I'm texting this girl and this happened. Like, this is all linear content. None of it really matters in the grand scheme of things, right? And I would see this young guy. He would be obviously nice physique, but he just didn't care. He was in a state of flow, and I would always admire that about him. I would see him like nice physique, but he didn't let that consume him. He didn't let that be the sense of who and what he was. Whereas I would walk into the gym like big, muscular, women always looking at you, but inwardly I would always feel like I wasn't yet there, grounded, right, in my energy. So there's only so much you can put the facade on until you really do the inner work, until you really understand the game of consciousness, the game of awareness, the game of non-linear, intangible essence, which is you, which is me. You can see it in my eyes. Like, we really need to like focus on that which is important, and that is the essence of life. The essence of life is pure and simple. It's basic. It isn't that which you're inundated with. It isn't your goals. It isn't your aspirations. It isn't this business hitting 50K per month, which is cool. We all want super successful businesses, right? We all just want to be free and live life at its optimal. I get it. But the way in which you retract and take your power back is to really just look at life for its simplicity and its totality. And the best way you can do that is just to be loving. But the best way to be loving, guys, which a lot of people don't tell you, is to have strong and powerful energy. Your energy needs to be rooted in power and integrity for yourself first. This is why I always say seek knowledge of self. Once you have knowledge of self, nothing can harm you, nothing can hurt you. The fear of death is literally the all-encompassing nature, and it's grounded within the fear of everything else. All other fear is rooted in the fear of death. And once you have knowledge of self, you don't fear anything because you know that you never die. You are infinite. You are infinity. This is why when people ask me, what religion are you? I say I am pure consciousness, because you cannot take pure consciousness and assign it a label. Ask yourself that. How many religions are there? And they all claim to have the correct religion. Well, clearly someone's getting it wrong. You can't all be right, can you? Who's wrong? Is it all of you? No disrespect. Listen, guys, everyone's at their own level of consciousness and evolving at their own rate. This is what I wanted to explain to you. Content, the linear story, blah, 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 blah. This happened. It's irrelevant. Cool, we need to focus analytically sometimes and, think a bit left-brained. I get it. This is a left-brain world. But you need to expand your mind and start tapping into the right brain way of thinking, conceiving of higher paradigms, higher states of consciousness, higher ways of being, showing love and humility and compassion to your people. That's the way in which you grow. People think that showing love is weakness. No, if anything, it's powerful and it's courageous to show love. It's courageous and powerful to show love, right? And then not only that, because giving love is receiving love. If you give love, people are more open to giving you love. So understand the difference between context and content, right? Focus on the context as opposed to the content, the small inconveniences, the stories about this celebrity, this economic turmoil, this crash happened. You don't have to be feeding your mind with any of it. You can just sit there in peace, in silence, grow every single day, make the days count, and live a life of peace and bliss. Guys, I hope that's really resonated with your soul. Do your best to, challenge yourself every day by looking at the things that deep down are sending you left field, sending you off course, because we all have them. We all have vices. We all have habits that we know are bad. We all have habits and ways of thinking and certain belief systems which we know we need to shift. And that's where the real growth happens in life, whereby you focus on the inward growth as opposed to the outward growth, the content, right? Guys, peace and power, love and light, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.